What's up everyone? My name is Marie. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I am building 4 different homes on one lot. So today is another very long speed build. I know I've been uploading a couple of longer videos lately. I don't know why that happened. I guess I've just been feeling very inspired to build bigger homes or just work on bigger projects like this one. I mean, this is not a bigger home, but it's definitely a bigger project because there's 4 homes on one lot. And I was trying to build 4 tiny homes on one lot. That was the original idea that I had, was to build 4 tiny homes on this lot, and that's what I did. But the homes did end up to be not quite as tiny. I mean, they're small. They're definitely smaller homes. They all have only 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom, and I furnished them all for 1 sim, but you could easily fit 2 sims in each of these homes because they do all have double beds. And yeah, the homes are just definitely big enough to have 2 sims in them. But for my storyline and my idea, I just built these houses for 1 sim each, and I built them in Del Sol Valley. And I don't think I've ever uploaded a speed build in Del Sol Valley on my channel because I don't really build here that often. Because, let's be honest, it's definitely not one of my favorite worlds. Like, I was really excited for it when Get Famous first came out and everything. I was really excited about this, like, Los Angeles kind of inspired world, but then, yeah, I don't know. It's so small. There's not a lot of lots, and the lots don't really make sense. I mean, the richer area, like is it called the Pinnacles or something like that? That area makes sense for like mansions and stuff like that, but this neighborhood that I'm building in right now, it could have been better, I feel like. And I still like it. I mean, it's cool, but yeah, I don't know. It could have been a little bit better. I don't really know what I'm trying to say here. But I was a little bit disappointed with this part of the world, especially since this lot that I'm building on right now, it's huge. Like, it really doesn't make any sense. It's so large. It's way too big for one house, for just one house. Or maybe not if you like want to build a house that has a very big backyard or something like that. Or you could just, I mean, of course you could just build a larger house here if you wanted to, but it just doesn't really make any sense in this part of the world, in my opinion. So I have been wanting to build a few homes on this lot for a little while now. I've been putting it off a little bit because, I don't know, I wasn't feeling too inspired about it. But then it came to my mind that I wanted to build 4 homes on this lot for starting artists, or like maybe not starting. They probably have been working for a little while because these houses, they wouldn't be that cheap. I mean, they're normal size. Well, they're small, but they're like fairly pricey homes, I suppose. So, but my main idea was to build these homes for artists or creative sims or creators or whatever you want to call them, in like this little like tiny little neighborhood. And I thought it came out really cute. So the shapes and sizes of the homes came out. I mean, that didn't take me too long. I wasn't struggling with that for too long because I kind of had a clear vision in mind what I wanted these homes to look like, and I was really inspired by the houses around this lot, like not the neighboring house on the lot next to it. That's just kind of a little bit of a sad house, in my opinion. But I mean like the world object homes that you can see like around it. I was really inspired by those, and I wanted to build something that looked like that. So that's what I tried to do. And I was really playing around with the different kind of colors and siding and everything. Like, I wanted them to look alike, but I also wanted them to be very different. Like, I wanted them to have their own color scheme, and they do definitely have the same vibes, but they all have a different character, if that makes any sense. And that was what I was trying to go for, and I do think that turned out very nice. And, well, as I mentioned, this video, and as you could probably see, this video is very long. I think it's the longest voiceover that I have ever done, to be honest. I mean, just the footage sped up alone right now as I'm doing the voiceover is over 35 minutes. And it's not even the finished video yet. Like, that's without the intro and without the screenshots and everything. So it will be a longer video, and I hope you guys don't mind. I personally actually really like longer speed builds. It just calms me down, it relaxes me, and maybe in this crazy time in the world, maybe you have a little bit of extra time to just sit down and relax and watch a few speed builds that are a little bit longer. Maybe that's how it is for me, at least, so maybe that's how it is for you as well. And if anything, I hope that my videos can just be a little bit of a distraction, or just you could just take a moment for yourself, sit back and relax and watch a speed build. And I hope that my videos can help with that a little bit, with all these crazy, crazy times going on in the world. Like, I don't even know what's happening. And that's probably why I have been feeling inspired to work on bigger projects like this. Because yes, I am also stuck at home. I live in the Netherlands, so the situation here, I don't really want to talk about it too much, but I just want to address it real quick. The situation here is basically that schools are all closed, so I can't go to school. I do work from home, so that is, I'm lucky in that sense. Like, I can work, I do have enough work to do, so I can work from home, so I am very lucky in that sense. And I also have something that I am just as passionate about as I am about school. I am in theater school, so that's what I'm very passionate about, obviously. And I am very sad that I can't go to school right now, because we did have amazing classes planned, like from amazing actors and everything, and I was really looking forward to that. And then this crazy thing came around, and now I'm stuck at home. But I am very, very lucky that making videos and playing Sims and building and everything is something that I am basically just as passionate about as I am about acting, singing, and dancing. So I am considering myself very lucky in that case. I am definitely not bored. I can just turn to The Sims and be inspired and be creative in this way by building and creating videos, and it makes me very happy. So yeah, I do consider myself very lucky that I have something like The Sims to keep me distracted, keep me sane, keep me happy, and so that I do have kind of an outlet for my creativity. So yeah, like I said, I consider myself very lucky in that sense. But anyway, back to the video. What took me a long time for this build as well is the landscaping, obviously, because it's a very big lot. And I tried to keep the landscaping to a minimum, at least. That's what I told myself when I started this, because I already knew that this video was going to be very long, and because the lot is so big and I was building 4 homes. So I knew beforehand that this video was going to be very long, so I tried to tell myself, okay, the landscaping, you're gonna keep it to a minimum, you're gonna keep it easy and clean, and simple, so that it doesn't take you too long. Well, I failed. I mean, it's still, well, I was gonna say it's still easy and simple and clean, but it's really not. I put plants everywhere around the homes and rocks, and I guess I made it as detailed as possible. And I kind of got lost and carried away with that as well, which is something that happens to me whenever I'm doing landscaping. Like, I love it so much. It's definitely one of my favorite parts about building is the landscaping. Not so much terrain tools, but definitely landscaping plans and trees and terrain paint and everything. I don't know, I just love playing around with that, and it gives the homes and the lot in general just such, like, it gives it character, and it makes it look lived in and realistic, in my opinion, too, which is what I like about about building in general, is making it look a little bit realistic and lived in, and landscaping just really helps with that. And I can't help but use like ivy and stuff going up on the walls. I like to make my builds look a little bit overgrown and everything. And I did decide and go ahead to give these homes their own like little driveway and a car. Because like I mentioned before, the people living here, I do think they are just starting out with their careers, but at the same time, they're also already working. Like they do have work and they do have money, and they are kind of on the way of being very successful. So yeah, this first home that I am decorating right now, I decorated this for an actress, a girl in my storyline. Obviously, it could be anyone, but this is just what I had in mind for my storyline. I did imagine her to be an actress who is in movies and musicals and plays, and I decided to go with a very girly color scheme. Like, I don't mean that this can't be for a guy or anything, but just in my opinion, it looks very girly with like the dusty pink and the powdery pinks and neutral tones and lighter wood tones. And yeah, in my opinion, this whole little house turned out to be very girly. So that's why I decided that this one could be for an actress. Also, an actress doesn't really, in The Sims, doesn't really need a lot of skill building items. I mean, I suppose you could use that mirror that comes with the acting career. But in my opinion, I don't really like that mirror. It's so like, it looks good only with very specific interiors, I think. And you can also use regular mirrors for your acting skill, I think. I'm not quite sure about that, but I think that's how it works. So I didn't really put a lot of like skill building items specifically for acting or something in this house, but yeah, I don't know. I decided to give this house to the actress. And I did put some posters, like some movie posters everywhere. And I really like the lighter and dusty pink kind of color scheme that I have going on in this little house. And I decided to try and combine that with like some pops of color. For example, this couch, which I don't think I've ever used this couch before. It's from movie Hangout stuff, if I'm not mistaken. It's very bohemian looking, and yeah, I really like that style. And I really like the color on that couch. So I decided to just add a few pops of color everywhere throughout this house, combined with lighter wood tones and the dusty pink that is on the wall. And I, for the first time ever, used the kitchen counters and island from, I think it's called Perfect Patio. Is that what it's from? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's from Perfect Patio. I've never used those counters before because, I don't know, I find them a little bit difficult to work with. I mean, they look very cool, and I really like the design of them, but for some reason, they never really fit the vibe of the house that I am building at that moment. I don't know why, but that's just something that happens. But as you can see, this house has 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. They all do. So I actually this is the only house that I put the bed against the wall. So if the scoot over trick doesn't work for you, then this house does only fit 1 sim. And even if it does work, I think it's kind of a little bit of a difficult workaround to use every single time when your sims go to bed. So yeah, I definitely furnished this one for just 1 sim in mind, which is what I did for all of the homes. And here you can see I added a couple of movie posters. I also added a few movie posters, or 1 movie poster in the living room. And yeah, that's almost about it for this house. And I really like the color scheme that I have going on in the bathroom as well. I really like the beigey kind of, I don't know what that color would be called, but like mixed together with the darker brown kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. It looks very modern and clean to me, which is what I like about it. I did actually go ahead and give all these homes laundry machines. So you can do laundry in each of these homes. You can also easily delete them out of the homes if you don't want to play with that. And for this house, I did have a little bit of space on the outside here. So I gave her like a little dining table and a little couch to just relax and hang out on the porch, which would be so much fun. So cute. This is the second house right next to the one that I just furnished before this one. And I decorated this one for a YouTuber or SimTuber or influencer or whatever you want to call it in this house or in this game. And I tried to go for a little bit of a darker color scheme in this house. This is definitely the largest home of the four. Also only one bathroom and one bedroom, but still it's the most spacious. And this person does have a very large, but this house does have a workspace, like an office area and a filming area, which is what a YouTuber would need. So that's why I decided to go ahead and give this person the largest house of the four, because he definitely needs the most space. I say he because in my mind, in my storyline, the person living here is a guy who is, like I mentioned, a YouTuber. He makes videos. I think he makes a mixture of like gaming videos, but also vlogs and just, I think a lot of different kind of videos, like a lot of different content is what this person would create. And in my mind, this person makes the most money at this very moment, which is why it would make sense for him to have the largest house. And he also has like very expensive equipment and everything. Which basically, because I was thinking that, like I said before in the beginning of the video, I do think these people have had their jobs for a while now. They have been working not a long time, but they have been working for a while. They have been working on their careers for a little while now, and they did save up money so that they can buy these homes. So they're definitely not struggling by any means. And I do think that this YouTuber, he's quite successful. I did put a couple of like awards and everything throughout this house. So he did already win a few prizes, and I think he is definitely a YouTuber who has a lot of subscribers, like definitely over like a couple million or something. So he is pretty successful and doing very well for himself and very passionate about what he's doing probably. So I did make his house look a little bit more luxurious, and he has a little bit like more luxurious and more expensive looking furniture. At least that's what I was trying to go for. And this house also is quite modern. All these four homes are quite modern looking in their own way, and I tried to really give them their own color scheme. Here you can see that I am working on the office or filming area, and I gave them a little green screen. I painted the wall behind this editing station or recording station, or I don't really know what that is called in the game. But as you can see, I painted the wall green, so he does have a green screen, and I put an extra lamp right there as well. And then I gave him another little setup with a couch and a couple of decorations on the wall, so that maybe sometimes he just wants to sit down there and film videos for specific subjects or content or something, or maybe when he has guests over to film with, that is just a nice space that they can just sit down and talk and relax and maybe record some things. And then I gave him an extra like separate office area right here. Maybe this is where he sits down and I don't know, work on like administration or something like that, or maybe even like play games for himself. Yeah, I just think that he is the kind of person that sits behind his desk a lot and who needs his computer a lot. So yeah, that's why I decided to give him an extra little space, office space, what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and as you can see, I went for a little bit of a darker color scheme throughout this house. I did imagine these homes to have been built like at exactly the same time. So they do all have like the same doors on the inside and kind of like the same, definitely not the same layout, but you could definitely tell that these homes are designed or created by one person or one company that builds homes a certain way. So I did want to try and make these four homes look alike in that sense. if that makes any sense. And I did decide to give him some extra storage space because I did have some space left over, and then you could just see me hanging up a few like awards and stuff on the wall just to make it look a little bit more detailed. And just to so that you can see that he is a very successful YouTuber or SimTuber or whatever that's called in The Sims. I don't really know. I did actually go ahead and create these Sims. I was very inspired by these little homes, and I have mentioned this before in another video, but I am definitely thinking of starting a save file, which is going to take a long time, a very long time, like definitely maybe a couple of years or something. Maybe by the time The Sims 5 will even be out. I have no idea, but I'm just really inspired by like Little Simsy save file or Simmarysims save file or Evelyn's save file here on YouTube. I think that the idea of a save file filled with your homes and your townies and like everything is in your style, I really like that. So I'm trying to start a save file, and I was definitely thinking that this house or this lot could be in there, and it could already be filled up with a few Sims because this this lot is so specific. Like the idea that I had for this lot is so specific that I thought it'd be fun to just create the Sims and move them in here, and that's what I did. I also put them on the gallery. I do use CC for my Sims in my CAS, so if you want to download them, you do have to make sure to turn on the show custom content filter in the gallery, and you should probably make sure that you have the CC in your game that I'm using, or just replace it by whatever you have in your game. But yeah, you can download these Sims off the gallery. So there is one actress. I don't remember their names for the life of me because I always randomize their names, so I don't really think about it, which is probably why I don't remember. So there is an actress who's a girl, obviously, and there is the influencer, who's a guy. Then there is a musician and music producer, who is a girl. She lives in this house that I am decorating right now. And then there is a painter. I thought that'd be fitting for these homes as well. Like, they're all very creative, but in a completely different way. They're all artists, but in a completely different way, and I like that. I like that variety in the household, so that's what I went with. Like I said, they are on the gallery, so you could definitely go ahead and check them out. I think the household's name is Artists, if I'm not mistaken. Like, not a very creative or difficult name, but my username is Simmarysims, so you can check out the household if you wanted to, and you can also find this build over there as well, of course. But back to this build. This house, I furnished this one for a musician, and in my mind, she was a very like different, eccentric Sim. So for this house, I tried to be a little bit more creative with colors and combining items and everything. And I definitely made it look a little bit mid-century modern, but not everything, because the house is definitely not like from the 70s or something. The house is definitely newer than that and pretty modern. But I did give it like a few mid-century modern kind of furniture pieces and style choices, and the color scheme as well. I did try to go for this richer wood tone, but it's combined with lighter wood tones. There's definitely a lot of wood tones mixed together in this house, and the layout is pretty funky in a way. Like this kitchen, I was struggling with it a little bit. But I do really like how it came out. Like I placed down those island counters against a wall, and then I put a little window, like a window without glass from, I think, Jungle Adventure in there. So it's kind of like this little hole in the wall, like you can see it right now. I think that looks really cute. I've never done that before, but I really like the look of it. It looks so cozy and like, yeah, it's really definitely something mid-century modern, and I really like that style. It's definitely one of my favorite styles. as far as furniture goes, not so much the outside of homes. I do like mid-century modern looking homes from the outside as well, but they are usually just very boxy. So whenever I build mid-century modern homes in The Sims, I do try to make them look a little bit more interesting than that. But whenever I come across mid-century modern homes in real life, I always just take a look at them because I'm really inspired or interested in architecture, obviously, because I love building in The Sims. So whenever I see a house in real life that I find interesting, I always take a look at it, and I always think, like, how would this work in The Sims? For some reason, my mind automatically just works like that now. Whenever I see a house and I'm like, I can't immediately tell if it's possible to build something accurate in The Sims or if it would look way off in The Sims, like proportion-wise and everything. And I do kind of play around with that thought in real life sometimes whenever I'm just outside taking a walk or something, or I come across homes. That's just how my mind works these days. But yeah, I definitely lost my train of thought right there. I don't really know what I was trying to say with that. But yeah, as you can see, I did give this house mid-century modern vibes with the furniture, and I was playing around with the color scheme for this one a lot. This is definitely a pretty risky color scheme. Like, I don't know if anyone else likes it, but I really like it. Like the orange and the blue combined with the darker wood tone and the brown wallpaper and the brown details and the furniture. I don't know, I really like the color scheme. I've never used it before, but I definitely will use it again. And I don't know if anyone else likes it, but I like it. So I hope you do too. You can always let me know in the comments. And I decided to just place a couple of music books around the place, and she has a lot of guitars and an electric piano. And I placed the what's it called? The item from Get Famous, the music producing station or something. You can see it right there. I placed that in the living room. So I did imagine that this girl, she is a musician. She's a singer, songwriter. She writes her own songs. She plays the guitar. She plays the piano, and she performs her own songs. And she records her own albums, I think, but at the same time she is also a producer who produces maybe like songs from other artists, or she maybe creates like tunes and jingles and stuff like that for like shows and movies maybe. I think she's just an all-around musician, and that she does it all and she can do it all, and she's just very talented. And very passionate about what she's doing. So that's what I was thinking for this girl. I think she is a musician who just, well, like I just said, she does it all. She knows how to do it all. And she probably doesn't always work from home. Like, she probably goes to the studio every day to work on music and everything, but she also has equipment at home to, of course, to just sit down and write music and just sing music for herself, but also because she has that little music producing station. She can also work from home if she wants to on like maybe smaller projects or something like that. So that's what I had in mind for her. And I also gave her this little bathroom with laundry in it, and I really like the colors in here. I've never used that brown tile on the floor, and I don't necessarily think it looks good. I don't necessarily think that it's nice flooring, but I do think it really suits this house, and it really ties everything in together. So that's that for that little house. I did place a few things on the porch here as well. Just a nice little sitting area. I don't remember if I gave her a dining table. No, I didn't. I just gave her a few couches outside. Now, moving on to the very last build, or the very last house of this build, I furnished this one, like I mentioned, for a painter. So, yeah. He's a painter. He doesn't really necessarily need to live in, I was going to say San Myshuno. I mean Del Sol Valley for that, of course. But I don't know. I just think he really likes to be surrounded by other creative people, and he likes to work together with other artists. I'm struggling to speak. It's a very long voiceover. Please bear with me. Like I said, it's definitely the longest voiceover that I have ever done, and I do think it's a little bit difficult sometimes, but not today. Today I'm just rambling my life away. I hope you don't mind, and I hope you're not sick and tired of it yet. But this is definitely my the last house that I'm furnishing, so it's almost over with. But yeah, I furnished this one for a painter, like I mentioned, and I gave him that little painting area, work area, painting station, whatever you want to call that little area, right next by the front door. And I placed all the painting items that I could find. Like, I really like that rack with all the canvases in it. Canvases? Is that a word? I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. But I really like that item. And it also at the same time kind of works as a space divider in this house, which is, I don't know, I really like that. To have that little rack with a lot of paintings in it or have it be kind of a space divider in a way. I don't know, it really makes a lot of sense for this house. And when I was furnishing this, I really didn't quite know what the vibe was that I was trying to go for. I just went ahead and placed down furniture and see whatever it would bring me. And I really like the vibe that I have going on in here. It's very different from the other 3 homes. I like the dark wood flooring, and that's what inspired me. This is definitely one of my favorite floors, or however you say that, in this game. Like, I think it's so detailed and beautiful looking. It's from Jungle Adventure, if I'm not mistaken. Jungle Adventure has a lot of beautiful items that I love to use a lot, and that I probably overuse, but I just can't help myself. So in this house, I was definitely trying to go for a lot of darker wood tones with the flooring and the cabinets, and the whole kitchen, as you can see. And I tried to use a few pops of color, like in the backsplash in the kitchen and just throughout the house. I tried to make it look very warm toned in most areas in this house. Like, the rest of the house, except for the kitchen, has like this like very warm toned yellow beigey kind of wallpaper, and the warm toned like brick on this feature wall right here. I really overuse that brick all the time. I'm aware of that. And I do think there is a lot of other builders out there that overuse that brick, but it's just, in my opinion, it's hands down the best brick that we have in the game. It's so beautiful. I wish we had it in more colors. I mean, I really love the swatches that it comes in. But that just makes me want more swatches of it because I think it's so usable, so versatile, and it's just, yeah, it's amazing. I really like it. I really like that brick. And this house kind of looks a little bit bohemian in a way as well. I mean, it's definitely not completely bohemian, but I did use a lot of plants throughout this house. And I tried to make it look like not as like put together, and like the furniture isn't all like very matchy. It's kind of not completely mismatched, but a little bit mismatched in a way. This painter, he's just a very free and creative spirit. In my mind, or in my household that I created, the painter is a guy, so the actor or the actress and the musician are girls, and then the influencer and the painter, they are guys. Could be anyone, like I mentioned 1,000 times, but that's just what I was going for in my storyline. This guy, he's just not very like specific when it comes to styles of furniture and stuff. He just doesn't really care. He just puts together what he likes, whatever he likes and whatever he thinks looks good. And he doesn't really care about the opinion of others. And he's just very eccentric and creative in his own way. At least that's what I feel like and what I imagine him to be like. So yeah, definitely a very relaxed guy, very laid back, and he just likes to paint, and that's what he knows how to do, and he's very creative and very talented. And I like this bathroom a lot. It's definitely a little bit more bohemian looking to me, with the wood floor and the light blue tiles on the wall, and yeah, I don't know. It just looks a little bit bohemian to me for some reason. And I really like that style for this little house. But we are almost coming to the end of this video, so I hope you're still here. And if you are still here, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. You can always let me know what you think of this build, or if you have any questions or suggestions or anything like that, you can always leave a comment down below. I read them and I always answer them, and I love to hear from you guys. If you have any suggestions or any like family ideas, or if you have any families in your game that you need a house for, let me know. I love to be inspired by other simmers out there, and I love to hear from you. If you have any like ideas or sims or family ideas or whatever you want to share it with me. You can download this build off the gallery. Like I mentioned, my username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Instagram if you like. My Instagram handle is @Simmarysims as well. Once again, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next build. Bye!